All right, in our last tour of Posh Play, we talked about this pattern. So I'd like everybody to take one of your hands and group together your three middle fingers here. So your thumb is sticking out one side and your pinky out the other. Now, as most of you know, I love numbers. I love to look at all of the information that's coming in from all of your parties, from all of your customers, from all of you personally. Where do you come from? What products are you selling? Who are you selling them to? How often? I like to look at all of that information. And what's great about having 4,000 people doing the same thing at the same time is you start to get very predictable patterns. This is one pattern that jumped out several months ago. In our tour of Posh Play, we talked about it. And I updated the analysis last week before we came, and it has followed exactly the same pattern. So I want to make sure that all of you go home understanding this, because this will help you grow your business. Now, if you imagine that each of your fingers represents 20% of the consultants who would join your team. So let's say you have 5 consultants join your team. Each one is represented by one finger, 20% of your business. Now what this pattern means is, let's start with your pinky. 20% of consultants are what we call no posh. They will join the company and they will do absolutely nothing. Okay? Now how frustrating is that to you as a sponsor? You get so excited, you help someone sign up, they get their starter kit, you schedule a launch party, she calls the night before, it gets postponed, she doesn't return a phone call or an email, and nothing happens. 20%. Now, you think, whoa, wow, that seems like a lot. The industry average is actually about 25%. So as young as we are, we're ahead of the industry average. It's very important for you to understand, if you recruit 5 and one does absolutely nothing, that's okay. This is most likely a situation in their life, and it doesn't have anything to do with you. I don't want your confidence to be shaken by the fact that one person has decided not to work their business. That's okay. Now, the middle 3 fingers, 60% of consultants represent what we call social posh. 60% of consultants will sell on a level somewhere between $1 up to $200 a month. Now, why 200? Well, 200 is the level that you need to get to be qualified. And that helps your sponsor advance in rank. That's a very key threshold in our business. And so we look at 60% of the company that is in the $100 to $200 in sales on average per month. This is fantastic. Perfectly Posh was designed to be a place that you could come sell as little or as much as you want. We wanted to make sure that even those people that were primarily in it to buy products for themselves, but wanted to occasionally host a party and earn some free products, had the ability to do that. And so we have a very low minimum sales to stay in the company. It's not surprising that 60% of the consultants will then average that in sales. Now, Ann and I talk about this a lot when we go to Posh Play and we go to meetings. Okay? About half of the consultants that will come to meetings are social posh. They're very lightly engaged with it. This is a fun hobby. It's a great experience. It's a reason to get out, to have fun, to meet people, to enjoy the products. Keep this in mind as you're building your team. We've talked about 4 out of 5 that you brought into your team. 1 who will do nothing, and 3 who will do very little. This is key as you start to plan where you want your business to be, what sales rank you could reach this year. Keep in mind that 1 out of 5, our last one, we will call part-time and career posh. 1 out of 5 is going to be a builder. They will average part-time between $200 and $500 in sales a month, and career posh, $500 and more in sales per month. So 20% of our consultants in the company are building. Many of you that are here today are part-time and career posh. That's what motivates you to come to Unconventional. So I wanted to make sure that you understand this. As we continue to grow, we see more and more patterns come out. This is something that I really thrive on, is to be able to find information that we can provide to the consultants to help you make a real difference in your business. Now, next, I want to talk about this Swiss hotel that we're in right now. You can see right up at the top there, it says 457 feet. Okay, the Swiss hotel is about a football field and a half tall, 457 feet. Okay, and if you've been up to the gym and looked out the window, you know what that looks like from the top down, right? 457 feet. So I went back and I looked at some of the products that we have sold since the start of the company, and I found, for instance, the Healer. You have now sold 27,450 healers since the product came out when we launched. Now, how do you applaud for a number like that? That's a number so big, I don't even know. What does that mean, 27,000? Well, if you stack those healers one on top of another, that would be 9,150 feet tall, which if you took the Swiss Hotel as tall as it is, that would be a stack 20 times the size of the Swiss Hotel. Wow, that was kind of cool. Didn't know that was supposed to dance there. So this is really remarkable when you think about it. 20 times the size. "20 times the size of the Swiss Hotel."
Did you get the right button that time?
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. I want you to, you'll see many pictures of the Swiss Hotel, and I hope you take an opportunity to take a picture of that. This is one of those visual reminders to us of what you are all doing together on a daily basis. I can't even imagine 20. Now, how many of you have gone to the Sears Tower, the Willis Tower here in town? Okay, I calculated that. That's a stack 6.5 times taller than the Willis Tower here in town, which is one of the tallest buildings in the world. And that's just one product. You now have sold over 45,000 pretty products. Those numbers are starting to get really staggering. We had to hire a specialist, Mariko Nunakawa, to come help us manage our supply chain because those numbers are starting to get very significant. And so I hope that some of these things will inspire you, that you can use this knowledge to realize that the success that you all have every day is really humbling for us to watch. We do all that we can to support you, to provide opportunities, to look at the business. There are some things today that we'll be talking about that are going to help your business significantly. And we are really excited to do that because we can take what you've already done, which has surpassed anything else that's ever been done, and take it into the stratosphere to another level. And so to close, I prepared a little slideshow. That was the magical music that started there. Because the thing that inspires me most when I think about what's happened at Posh this year, it's each of you. The best part of what I get to do is to travel around the country and to meet each of you one by one. I stalk most of you on Facebook. I love to see your displays at shows. I love to see your parties with 6 and 7 ladies with the strip around their face. I love to see all of your successes. I love to see your pictures with your kids as they help you or they're playing with the product. Those things, that really is the highlight for me. And so I threw some of those things into a little montage to reflect back on some of the individual successes as well as a big run of Posh at Play that we had in 8 cities just a few months ago.